One of the best qualities of this particular website is the imagery. I think the slideshow that you put together, the images are incredibly well chosen. The ones of, the restaurant are beautiful and well chosen. The ones of the people preparing food, all of it makes sense with the messages. So, in terms of that and the messages, you did a pretty good job. In terms of sort of the layout and the color palette, I don't think they're as inspired sort of as the imagery and the movement. I think the gray over here, it sort of gets the job done. It is sophisticated, but it doesn't sort of have any imagination in it. And I think that that's what it's sort of missing is how do you play with the grid? How do you play with color? How do you do all of those kinds of things? So those are, I think the imagery, again, very interesting. I also thought the fact that you really went above and beyond with the how things got into the page. How things were brought onto the page was very interesting, and in the opacity and things like that are really, really great. I think the biggest critique I would have is that it needs to sort of be pushed in terms of sort of the imaginative and uniqueness. I think it has so many really great qualities: the transparency, the imagery, the cool effects, the cool animation. All of those things are very, very cool. It's really the kind of standard design questions of grid and layout and color palette that don't feel like they have as much sort of finish or polish on them as the other kind of elements of animation and special effects. But overall, it's a nice looking site. One thing I think that you're missing, I think you're missing one of your typefaces. This typeface maybe isn't coming up. And I think that may be impacting it as well, because this is a really beautiful typeface, this one, but this typeface is sort of more ordinary. And so I think that with another typeface, that also could add to that sort of amount of originality. But overall, it's a good website. It just needs, to get to the next level. It sort of needs to kind of push harder on the sort of originality piece of it.